Why are we living in a small town in Norway? In today's video, we will show you around in our town and we will try to explain why we want to live here.
Let's start with bringing in some facts about our little city.
Yeah, it's a small town and it is located southeast in Norway. It's around 2 hours drive to Oslo. And there's something written where it says that people started to populate this area in the 1700s. And it became officially a town in 1838. And it is a town that started up being an industrial town, and they had a lot of wood making, and then they started to make some ships. And in the 1928, the Norsk Hydro, Norwegian Hydro, it was a very big company. They started up down here, and it is a very big industrial area now with around 3,000 people working. So it is an industrial town still, but then it has developed into different things also. But it's mainly an industrial town. After living in big cities, we find this place as a good size to live because you can find most of the things you're looking for example, but you cannot find hundreds of the same things. For example, a cafe, you can find maybe 5 good cafes here. You can't find 500 cafes. And if you're looking for clothes, you can find clothes that you find okay, but you cannot find hundreds of shops with fancy clothes and the newest fashions usually. So then you need to go to Oslo. So that's what I like about it, that I know where to find the things I need to find without using a lot of time. What do you think?
Yeah, that's true. I was maybe complaining at the beginning a little bit for not too much choice, but now I find that it's actually good that you don't use too much time. I use enough time anyway, but you don't use hours in the shopping centers because our shopping center is very small. But you find everything what you need. We have cinema, and for me the very good thing in the small town is traffic, or at least lack of traffic. So we don't stand in the queues driving to work, from work. You don't use time on that. You don't rush that much, so I feel it's much more calm than in the big cities. And I lived in Gdańsk and I was driving car to my work and it took me hours sometimes because of the traffic.
We complain about the traffic here also, and you laughed the first 2 years when I said it was chaos because it was 3 cars in the queue. We have actually also queues here in the rush hour. We have rush hour here also, so around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you have a queue also. And then you can sit for maybe half an hour in that queue, but most of the day you don't find a lot of traffic, and it's also very quiet here, and it's easy to you can drive for 3 minutes and then it's totally quiet here. And that's also nice, and it's not easy to find it totally quiet in a big city, even in a big park. But you get used to the noise. But I'm sure that the brain is liking that it's no sound whatsoever, or maybe just a few birds. In this area you can find the fjord with beach, and you can fish, and you can have your own boat. It is 4 minutes drive from where we live, and there's a lot of people living along that fjord. And also we have a river going through the city, the city, the town, and that's very nice. So a lot of people have sea view where we live, and then you have mountains, and it's not the biggest mountains where we live. So if you want to like drive for 5 minutes, you are in a mountain, and you have something called the 10 tops that is popular here. That you can walk up to the 10 tops during the year, and you maybe get a diploma. I don't know. We haven't tried it. We've maybe been to 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then you have the forest close to where we live now, and it's very popular to walk in the forest. So you have a lot of nice nature very, very close, and that's something people really like. And during the winter you have ski, not the downhill you don't have nearby here, but you can go cross country, and that's also just over the street where we live, and you have it around everywhere in this town where you can go skiing. So it is nice, and that's what people think about Norwegians, and that is actually true, that Norwegians love being in the nature.
Yeah, they like being outdoors, and there are a lot of choices here in the area to do some activities.
And we will make a video this summer about how is a beach life in this place. And it's not close to being everything you can compare to Australia or Thailand, at least. This is a different kind of beach and a different kind of being on the beach.
Yeah.
But we hope that will be an interesting video. In Norway, here we live, we actually have a lot of things very close. And if you feel that you don't find what you need in Porsgrunn, you can just drive a little bit and then you are in the next town. And you have a similar town just 20 minutes from here. And we have a highway now along the coast, and it's almost finished now. So you can drive from Oslo all the way to Bergen now, I think. So you can drive to a place called Larvik, and then after that you go to Sandefjord, and then you can go to Tønsberg, and then that's actually from a Marvel movie. Thor was in Tønsberg.
Maybe we should visit,
Just a
actually.
fun fact, yeah. And then you come to a big city in Drammen, I can call it a city, and then you come to Oslo. And the south you have a place called Kristiansand, that is also a city. So you don't need to drive a lot, and you also have a train and buses going to these places. So it's very close if you are tired of being in our small town.
Speaking about other towns and cities, we will try to make some trips during the summer to show you the area where we live and the other places. We of course will take a picture if the weather will allow us during the summer. I hope we will get some sunny day. We want to go to the place where Tommy grew up. It's also a very small, nice
village, we can call it.
Yeah, growing up now. Yeah.
And then we'll maybe go on the fjord if someone will take us in a boat, or we'll take a small ferry on the fjord. And we will also try to get up to a higher mountain and show you that one. So that's an hour drive from here, and very, very nice.
Yes, please.
So, and if you have any wishes when you see this video, please comment, and maybe I will make a little survey also on our page of what you want to see. But at least we have enough to show this summer, so we hopefully will make a few videos, and hopefully you will find that interesting.